some point, definitely we need to do more than think about this question. I mean, everyone sees the trends that are coming in Europe. So, of course, it's a major point, and it's a key question that we have on the strategy side at Debat. But let me first step back a little bit, because I think what we need to realize is that it's not a question about the vision or where we are heading to. I think the real question is, what is the trajectory to go to there? And I think it's a question of each country has its own context, each specificities, and there is also a question of timing. The real question about developing actually digital bank is not the fact that at some point in time we need to have a full digital offering to the clients. This is evident, this is something that we need to build. The question is, at what time this offering will have to be there. And each country has its own specificities. It's not only about technology or the hype of technology, it's about the readiness of your market. The market will need to move forward with regards to this. I mean, that's definitely for sure. And if you ask me, for example, about my point of view in which areas, for example, I see the payments area, it's something that that there is something to do about, and maybe this is the first step that we need to move into the payments area. And by the way, we have a service called mDinar, Mobile Dinar, which has been implemented since 2011, 2012. But it has some difficulties picking up, and this is the question that will come to maybe at a later stage. Now, and I think before also talking about what will happen in 10 years, there are things that banks will need to do to be able to go into that digital transformation at some point in time. I think one of the things, if you look at the banking sector, one of the things that you need to have, for example, is a heavy investment in information technology and information systems of the banks. And if you don't have your information system of the bank that is ready, how can you talk about big data if you don't have data? If you're not collecting data, how can you at some point in time talk about having big data? So there are also some prerequisites that we need to move on, and this is what we have launched. We are thinking about the future, but there are things that we have done. I think we have invested heavily in the information system. Maybe you have launched the biggest information system project in Tunisia over the last 10 years. There will be a digital bank, and we need to start preparing for it from now. It's not something maybe that we'll have in the offering right now. What we're trying to do is have a digital strategy where we try to, for example, to develop our omni-channel services. For example, we need to target our clients through the branch, we need to target our clients through internet, through the mobile, and improve our omni-channel services. And at the same time, we are thinking about building a full digital bank on the side. If in Tunisia we want to develop the Fintech, new technologies, I think the most important element is to have the talent. I've been in contact with some of the Fintechs since some time now, some of the startups. And most of them, at some point in time, we can have big visions, we can look forward, but you don't have the resources to make things happen. Sometimes you don't have the talent, and you don't have the
talent.
You
mean the human resources.
The human resources. Okay. I mean, sometimes I have seen some startups, and they've been looking for months for a full stack developer, for example. It's not something so I think the talent aspect is very important.
Yes, so enablers. How can we? Yes, I get your point, and I will ask again questions.
So one of the things I would suggest, one of the recommendations, I go to the government because I think it's the most easier and where you have a recommendation. I think we have to, in the government, is to invest heavily into IT projects, into information system projects. I think if we think about public investment, I think we have to change the philosophy of the public investments. We're spending too much in infrastructure, on roads, highways, billions every year. We've been doing that. It's a capital-intensive investment.
IT projects, okay.
To invest into IT, it will give local companies pipelines to develop people, to develop talents, and do that. I think this is one recommendation that I would give to the government. It's clear we need to go forward with regards to this. And the second thing is maybe for the startups, because one of the things is is sometimes is also to try and not be technology or product driven only. It's good.
Customer driven.
We have to look at the market.
Okay.
And you have to stick to the need of the customer. And to understand it first and to provide solutions that address real customer needs concretely.